Constraint. It's our second lecture. The topic of discussion is consumers' income and price constraint. Budget constraint. The limitation on the amount of goods that a consumer can purchase imposed by his or her limited income and the prices of goods. By assuming that a consumer spent all of his or her income on good X, here we are assuming that individual has two goods X and Y. On the X-axis, we measure hamburgers, and on Y-axis, we will measure soft drink. Individuals have to face constraint in the form of income and prices of the good. We can express the budget constraint as Px, the price of commodity X, Qx, the quantity of commodity X, and we multiply Px with the Qx, it will give the amount of money that individual spend on commodity X. Again, Py shows the price of Y and Qy is the price quantity purchased of Y. When we multiply Py with Qy, prices of Y with the quantity of Y purchased, we will get the amount of money that individual spend on the consumption of commodity Y. The both expenditure, because we are assuming there is only two commodity that individual is consuming, therefore when we add up the expenditure on commodity X and the expenditures of commodity Y, we will get total income of individual I. This it shows the total income of individual, and we are assuming here individual consume all of his income. That's why we use equality sign here. Now let's suppose price of X is $2, price of Y is $1, and money income is $10. This could, for example, be the situation of a student. You are also a student. Let's suppose you have $10 per day to spend on snacks of hamburger, good X, price at $2 each, and on soft drink, good Y, price at $1 each. By spending all income on Y, you can consume 10Y. As we know, the price of Y is $1. Therefore, if individual or consumer spend all of his income on Y, I divided by price of X, total money income divided by price of Y is equals to income is $10 and price of Y equals to 1. So individual can purchase 10 units of commodity Y if consumer is purchasing or individual is purchasing only commodity Y and consuming X in zero quantity. Again, this is a vertical intercept. We can draw here the figure. We have two commodities. Commodity X we will measure on X-axis, that are hamburgers, and on Y-axis we have soft drinks. So we calculated the point total quantity that individual can consume by spending all of his income on commodity Y is equals to 10. This defined the vertical intercept and point J on the vertical axis. This is your point J on vertical axis, and it shows that individual is consuming only Y commodity and the consumption of commodity X is equals to 0. It shows your vertical intercept. Similarly, if consumer is only consuming commodity X, keeping the consumption of Y equals to 0, means it will show your X-intercept I, total income, that is equals to 10 divided by price of X, that is equals to 2. Price of X equals to 2. It means we have here 10 divided by 2 equals to 5. Individual is able to consume only 5 unit of commodity X if he spent all of his income on the consumption of X and consumption of Y equals to 0. This is the x-intercept, and we are denoting this as point K. It's your point K, it's your point J. Point J shows vertical intercept and point K shows horizontal intercept. And when we join these 2 points with a straight line, here we are joining these points with the straight line. I don't have a scale here, but you can join these 2 points with a scale. It's your, by joining these 2 points, we will get budget constraint of consumer, and the budget constraint shows various combination of X and Y that consumer can purchase by spending all of his income at given prices of the two commodities, means Px and Py, along the budget constraint equals to remains constant. This is the budget line. It's point J, and that shows vertical intercept, and horizontal intercept we have point K. Starting from point J, the consumer could give up 2 units of Y and use $2 not spent on Y to purchase the first unit of commodity X. When individual give up 2 units of Y, when individual move from point J to point L, instead of consuming 10 units of commodity Y, individual is now consuming 8 units of commodity Y. It means he is releasing $2 from here, and these $2 can be spent on the consumption of X, and individual is able to buy 1 unit of commodity X because the price of X equals to 2. So at this point, individual is consuming 8 units of commodity Y and 1 unit of commodity X. Total expenditure on Y is equals to 8 multiplied by 1. Price of Y is equals to 1. Total expenditure on Y equals to 8, and the total expenditure on X is equals to price of X, as we know, equals to $2, and the quantity that individual is consuming here is 1 unit. So 2 multiplied by 1 is equals to 2. 8 plus 2 is equals to 10. Along the budget line, individual exhausts all of his income. Okay, 8 plus 2 is equals to 10. What is the slope of the budget line? As we know, the slope shows change. The slope of the budget line refers to the rate at which two goods can be exchanged for one another in the market. Here we know that 2y for 1x. The slope of the general formula of the slope is change in y over change in x. This is final value minus initial value minus initial value. I'm writing I for initial, V for value, F for final, V for value. Final value minus initial value. This is your final value. Means individual in a start was consuming 10 units or exhausting all of his income to purchase commodity Y, I over P Y. This is the initial point from where individual or consumer start. I over Px, and when individual give up all the consumption of Y, He's able to consume I over P X amount of commodity X. And at this point, sorry, this is Y, this is not X, I over PY, the vertical intercept. I'm starting from the vertical intercept I over PY. Individual is consuming only commodity Y, keeping the consumption of commodity X 0. But when individual give up all the consumption of Y, he is able to consume 5 unit of commodity X, that is I over Px, total quantity of X that individual can consume or purchase with the given income. Final value 0. The final value of x-axis is I over Px. When consumption of Y equals to 0, individual consume only the commodity X, and when individual is consuming only the commodity Y, he cannot able to purchase any unit of commodity X. Here minus I over Py, income over price of Y. When we change the sign from division to multiplication, the ratio will be reversed. Px over I. Income will cancel out here. Px over Py minus Px over Py, minus sign again indicate that this is the slope. Therefore, minus sign indicate the slope is negative, and here we can see that we have negatively slope curve. It shows the budget line, and along the budget line, because it's a linear line, and along the budget line slope remain constant, and we can calculate slope minus Px over Py. Here the price of X is equals to 2 and price of Y is equals to 1. Therefore, the slope of this budget line equals to minus 2. This is the slope of budget line equals to minus 2. Along the budget line, the slope remain constant. The consumer can purchase any combination of X and Y on the budget line or in the shaded area below the budget line. This shaded area is called budget space. This is also affordable for consumer to purchase. All the point in the budget space is affordable for consumer. For example, at point B, we are taking point B. Individual is consuming 6 unit of Y, means spending $6 on the consumption of Y, and consuming 2 units of commodity X, means spending $4 on the consumption of commodity X. Then 6 plus 4 equals to 10. The total income is equals to 10, means individual is exhausting all of his income on X and Y by purchasing 6 units of commodity Y and 2 units of commodity X with given prices. On the other hand, at point H, this point is in the shaded area, not on the budget line. Individual is consuming only 3 units of Y and 2 units of X. Total outlay on the consumption of Y equals to 3 into 1. Price of Y is equals to 1. Therefore, total outlay of Y equals to 3. Total expenditure or total outlay on the consumption of X. Consumer is consuming 2 units of commodity X and the price of X is equals to 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is equals to 4. 4 plus 3 is equals to 7. It means at this point total budget of individual is equals to 7, and 7 is less than 10, means individual is not spending all of his income. Some income remains in the pocket of individual. Now equality is not holding here. Px x plus py y is not equals to 10, is less than 10. But we assume that individual consumer spend all of his or her income and remains on the budget line. He will consume at budget line. At point G, this is also a point. At this point, individual is, if the combination of two codes is 6 units of Y and 5 units of X. sorry, 4 units of X. So in order to consume this bundle, individual must have 6, means total outlay of Y is 6 multiplied by 1, $6, and the total amount required to purchase 4 units of commodity X is 4 into 2, 8. 8 plus 6 is equals to 14. It means total budget required to purchase this combination 8 plus 6. 8 is the total expenditure on commodity X and 6 total expenditures on commodity Y. Individual need $14, and here the income of individual, as we know, equals to $10. So this is not affordable for consumer to purchase. A particular budget line refers to a specific level of consumer's income. As we studied earlier, that along the budget line we have fixed prices and a given income. If the consumer's income and or the price of good X or good Y change, the budget line will also change. Okay, when the prices or and income change, the budget line will also change. In the case of change in income, budget line shift parallel to the right or left, depending whether income is increasing or decreasing. When income of consumer increases, let's suppose the initial budget line is BL. At this budget line, individual income is equals to at BL. Individual income is equals to $10. This is our initial budget line BL, and at this budget line individual income is equals to $10. $10 keeping prices of X equals to 2 and price of Y equals to 1. Individual is able to purchase 5 units of X and 10 units of Y. But let's suppose income increases from 10 to 20 at B dash L dash B dash L dash income is equals to 20. If income increases, means individual have more purchasing power. So individuals can purchase more goods and services when income increases. Now, with $20, individual can purchase 10 units of X as the price of X $2 and 20 units of Y with the price of Y equals to $1. So we can observe that when when income increases, keeping prices constant, the budget line parallelly shift outward, and in a similar manner, when income decreases, keeping prices constant, at budget line B double dash L double dash, assuming at this budget line individual income equals to 6, from 10 it will reduce to 6. At this budget line, individual is able to purchase only 6 divided by 2, 3 units of commodity X. Now individual can able to purchase only 3 units of commodity X and 6 units of commodity Y. Increase in income, increase the purchasing power of consumer. So whenever income increases, individual is able to purchase more of commodity X and Y. An increase in income shift the budget line outward, an decrease in income shift the budget line inward, but parallelly shift. A budget line shift parallel to right or left with the change in income. keeping prices constant. Here we are assuming the prices of two commodity remains unchanged. Therefore, the slopes remain unchanged. But if the prices of two commodities change, if only the price of good X change, this figure shows a change in price of X. The vertical axis or y-intercept remains unchanged. There is no change. Individual is still able to buy 10 units of commodity Y with the given income $10 and prices $1 of PY is equals to $1 because these two are remains unchanged. There is no change in the this is 1 and it's an income I is equals to 10. Okay, income and price of Y remains unchanged. Therefore, the vertical or y-intercept remains unchanged and the budget line rotates when only price of X change. Because of change in price of X, purchasing power of individual change. Individual is now able to purchase. If price of X increases, individual is able to purchase lesser amount of commodity X. If price of X decreases, purchasing power increase and individual would be able to purchase more of commodity X. But here the vertical intercept remains unchanged because the price of Y is unchanged. Let's suppose this is the initial budget line when the price of X was $2. This is the initial budget line, initial prices when price of X was $2. When price of X was $2, individual is only able to purchase or consume 5 units of commodity X, spending all of his income on the consumption of X and keeping consumption or budget expenditure on commodity Y 0. If price of X decrease from 2 to $1, it was 2 previously, now it decreased to $1. Now individual is able to purchase 10 units of X if he spent all of his income on the consumption of commodity X. He can buy 10 units of maximum units that individual can buy with the given income is equals to 10 units. It shows that when prices decreases, budget line, if the price of X decreases, budget line rotates and rotates and move outward. Further, when the price decrease further, let's suppose the price decreases to 0.5. When the price equals to 0.5, these are the price of X. From 1 to now it's decreased to 0.5 price of X. Individual is able to consume or able to purchase 20 units of commodity X, keeping consumption of commodity Y 0. Now individual is able to purchase 20 units if he spend all of his income on X. So whenever the price of X change, the vertical intercept remains unchanged because income and price of Y do not change. In the similar way, whenever price of Y change, here the price of Y is changing, but income and the price of X remains unchanged. Therefore, X-intercept remains unchanged. There is no change in income and there is no change in price of X. Therefore, there is no change. Individual is still able to buy 5 units of X with Px is equals to 2 and income is equals to 10. Is still able to buy only 5 unit of X because there is no change in price of X and income level. Only the price of Y is changing here. Let's suppose this is the initial budget line with this income level and the price of Y equals to 1. Individual can buy how much units? Individual can buy 10 units. So this is equals to 10. The vertical intercept in this situation equals to 10. Individual is able to buy 10 units of Y with income equals to $10 and price of Y is equals to 1 and expenditure of on X equals to 0. This is the vertical intercept. But if the price of Y decreases, now we assume that price of Y decreases from 1 to 0.5. When price of Y decreases from 1 to 0.5, the vertical intercept increases because now individual or consumer is able to consume more unit of commodity Y. Commodity Y is relatively cheaper now and decrease in price because of decrease in the price of Y. Purchasing power of individual to purchase commodity Y increases. Therefore, individual is able to consume at this point 20 units of commodity Y, keeping the total expenditures on X 0. Consumer is spending all of his income on Y. This is the vertical intercept, and when the price of Y decreases, vertical intercept increases and the price of Y increases. Then individual now able to purchase only, let's suppose the price of Y increase to $2 equals to 2. In this case, when the price of Y increases, individual now is able to purchase only only 5 units of commodity Y, keeping expenditures on X 0, and if individual spend all of his income on Y, he can purchase or buy 5 units of Y. So whenever prices change, price change means change in the slope because slope is Px over Py. Slope is equals to Px over Py. So whenever the slope change, here we can see that the slope is changing now. This is a steeper line. The slope of this line is greater than the slope of this line, and the slope of this line is greater than the slope of this line. The flatter line has a lesser slope than these two lines. Therefore, whenever prices change, the slope of the budget line change, but when income change, slope remains unchanged. These are two parallel lines and parallel lines have equal slope. So whenever income increases or decreases, budget line shift parallel to the outward or inward. But whenever prices change, the change in price rotate the budget line and the slope of the budget line change. Okay, our next lecture would be on consumer equilibrium. That's enough for this lecture. Goodbye.